You tear a piece from a warm loaf of bread and everything about it feels so familiar that almost no one stops to think about it. The crust gives way, the inside feels soft, and the whole thing seems like it has always existed exactly as it is. But bread was not always soft, airy, or anything like the loaf we know today. Long before it rose in ovens or sat on kitchen tables, it looked very different. So what did the first bread actually look like? Where did it begin? And how did something this simple become one of the most familiar foods on Earth, across cultures and generations? Let's get into it right here on Secrets of Simple Things. Before bread was really bread. To answer that, we have to go back to a time when bread did not yet look like bread. Long before bakeries, ovens, or even farming, early humans were already moving toward bread without fully knowing it. Around 30,000 years ago, hunter-gatherers were grinding wild grains and roots into rough pastes. Archaeologists have found traces of starch on ancient stone tools, suggesting that people were already experimenting with ways to crush, mix, and heat plants into something easier to eat. This was not bread. There were no risen loaves, no carefully milled flour, and no soft slices. But the idea had begun. Human beings were discovering that a hard seed could be transformed by effort, heat, and patience. The clearest early proof comes from Shubayqa 1 in present-day Jordan. There, researchers found charred remains of flatbread made from wild barley and wheat that are about 14,000 years old. These were made by the Natufians, a semi-sedentary people who lived before agriculture truly began. That is what makes the discovery so striking. Bread may not have come after farming. In some ways, the desire for bread may have helped lead people toward farming in the first place. When farming turned bread into survival. Once people realized what grain could become, the next step changed human life completely. Around 10,000 years ago in the Fertile Crescent, humans began domesticating wheat, barley, and other grains. This shift from foraging to farming was one of the great turning points in history. Food no longer had to be found day by day. It could be planted, harvested, stored, and protected. With that change, bread also changed. It was no longer only an occasional experiment made from gathered wild seeds. It became a dependable way to turn grain into food that could nourish a household or a community. The first loaves were still flat, dense, and unleavened, often baked on hot stones. By modern standards, they would have looked plain, but their importance was enormous. Bread meant reserves, it meant planning, it meant survival through lean seasons. That matters because civilization does not begin only with buildings or rulers. It begins when people can remain in one place, organize labor, and think beyond the next meal. Bread helped make that possible. It was stability made edible. But those early loaves were still simple and heavy. Their next transformation came from something less deliberate. Egypt and the accident that made bread rise. Around 4000 BCE, ancient Egypt gave bread one of its biggest turning points: fermentation. The story is often told as an accident. A bowl of dough was left sitting out, and naturally occurring yeast in the air began to work through it. When that dough was finally baked, it puffed into something new. Instead of staying flat and dense, it became lighter, softer, and more appealing. Whether the discovery happened exactly that way or not, the larger truth remains. The Egyptians learned how to make bread rise, and that changed the history of bread forever. They developed clay ovens, improved milling tools, and turned bread making into a skilled craft. Bread was no longer only a necessity. It became something people could refine, repeat, and improve. Texture mattered, so did flavor, so did technique. In Egypt, bread also moved far beyond the kitchen. It was offered to the gods, buried with the dead, and used as payment for workers. Laborers were often paid in bread and beer, which shows how central bread had become. It was not only nourishment, it had religious, social, and economic value. In a very real sense, bread had become part of civilization itself. By this point, bread was no longer just about surviving. It had become part of work, ritual, and social order. Medieval bread, food, class, and community. In medieval Europe, bread still fed everyone, but not all bread meant the same thing. The kind of bread you ate could quietly reveal your place in society. Wealthier households favored fine white bread made from refined wheat flour, breads such as manchet or pain blanc. Poorer people more often ate darker, denser loaves made from rye, barley, or oats. These breads were heavier and less delicate, but they were filling and practical. So bread was never only about taste, it was also about access. Better flour required better grain, better milling, and more resources. A pale loaf could signal wealth as clearly as clothing or housing. Bread even shaped the table itself. In poorer homes, a thick slice of stale bread called a trencher could serve as a plate. After the meal, the gravy-soaked bread might be eaten or given away, and because private ovens were expensive, many communities relied on communal bakehouses where families brought their dough to be baked together. That detail matters. Bread was deeply personal, but it was also shared. It fed the body, but it also exposed class, habit, and belonging. Then tastes shifted again. Better refining techniques and a changing idea of luxury pushed bread in a new direction. When bread crossed cultures. By the Renaissance, white bread had become even more closely tied to wealth, status, and the idea of purity. Improved refining techniques made whiter flour possible, and that pale loaf came to represent not only abundance, but also social aspiration. At the same time, the world itself was widening. As trade expanded and empires crossed oceans, bread stopped being the story of one region alone. When Europeans arrived in the Americas, they encountered maize, or corn, while indigenous peoples had long used it to make tortillas and other flatbreads. These were deeply rooted food traditions, shaped by local grain and local knowledge. Over time, Old World and New World practices met, blended, and produced new forms of bread. Cornbread, Johnny cakes, and other hybrid recipes emerged from that exchange. Bread adapts. It follows grain, climate, tools, and taste. It changes when people move. It changes when ingredients move. It changes when cultures meet. That is why there is no single bread story after this point. There are many bread stories, each shaped by land, tradition, and what people learned to make their own. And then modern industry changed bread more rapidly than any culture had before. The Industrial Age and the rise of white bread. For most of human history, bread was made by hand. Grain had to be milled. Dough had to be kneaded. Heat had to be managed. Bread took time, labor, and skill. The Industrial Revolution changed that. By the 19th century, new milling technology made it possible to produce fine white flour on a much larger scale. Steam-powered mills, roller grinders, and later automated bakeries turned bread making into an industry. Bread became softer, cheaper, and more uniform. What had once signaled wealth became far more widely available. Commercial yeast, introduced in the mid-1800s, made fermentation faster and more predictable. Then, in 1928, Otto Frederick Rovetter introduced the first successful bread slicing machine. Slice bread was more than a novelty. It fit perfectly into modern life. Packaged, pre-sliced loaves saved time and matched the speed of urban living. This is one reason bread came to feel almost invisible. It became so common, so affordable, and so convenient that it no longer seemed remarkable. Yet that ordinariness is the result of thousands of years of change, from stone tools to factory lines. And after all of that history, bread still comes back to a simple question in everyday life. How do you keep it good? The 5-second bread rule. If you will not finish bread within 2 days, wrap it tightly and freeze it immediately. That is the 5-second bread rule. Do not leave it on the counter while you decide later. Seal it in plastic wrap, a zip bag, or foil and put it in the freezer. Stored that way, bread can keep for 2 to 3 months. When you want it again, let it thaw at room temperature for about 30 minutes, or warm it in the oven. If you plan to eat it the same day, a paper bag or cloth bag is better than plastic. And that small habit leads us back to the larger story. More than flour, water, and time. The next time you tear into a warm loaf, it may still feel like one of the simplest foods on earth. In one sense, it is. Bread is only grain, water, heat, and time. But behind that simplicity is a very long human story. It is the story of people experimenting with wild plants, learning to farm, waiting for dough to change, building ovens, feeding workers, marking status, crossing cultures, and industrializing daily life. Bread has lasted because it answers something basic in human life. It can be shared, it can be stored, it can be carried, it can gather people around a table. That may be why bread feels so ordinary today. It has been shaped, refined, traded, and woven into human routine for so long that it no longer announces how extraordinary it is. But it is extraordinary precisely because it stayed with us. Bread is not just food. It is one of the oldest ways human beings turned survival into civilization. If you enjoy uncovering the hidden history behind ordinary things, subscribe to the channel and stay with us for more stories like this. And before this video, had you ever imagined that something as simple as bread carried so much human history inside it? Let us know in the comments.